It's now 9 in the morning, and the first thing I'm going to do is go through this VOD here. And what we're doing today is we are looking at one of the people that I've coached, because they've had the game just where they went 20 kills and 6 deaths, 8, whatever, that's irrelevant. And they said, I have the perfect game that I managed to not carry. Because what I will do after a coaching session is, of course, people will feel sometimes that they didn't get everything. So I always offer to look at a game that they have after the coaching session at any point to discuss what they could have done better in this one to connect it with the coaching session. So one of the big things we talked about in the coaching session was structure. Because what he would do often is just open on people and kill them. But sometimes that wouldn't work because he would just open. Like there would be no thought behind it, right? So we talked about creating kind of like steps for killing someone. So as an example, his step is step 1, kill enemy, right? But what it should be like is step 1, I want to kill the enemy, right? Okay, so how do I do that? Okay, so step 2, I let the wave push. Step 3, I have vision in the bushes, so they can't avoid taking damage by going to the fog, right? So as an example, bot lane, if you're coming back to lane, you want to kill them, you shouldn't just immediately open because you have not created vision anywhere. So first you just want to establish vision, set everything up. You want to like set up the perfect environment, right? Get some vision in the bushes, make sure the jungler's not there so you don't die instantly when you try and kill them, etc., right? Get some control. And then the step after that is, okay, is everything set up? Are we good? Okay. So like, has the wave been pushed? Like the wave is pushed in here, you have created some vision, you've got some setup, right? Then you can go in and kill them, as opposed to just coming to lane, attack them, and then they just run away, right? And another example was Nautilus was somewhere here, he was trying to kill him, and he just instantly opened on him, and Nautilus went, and he hooked and just got away, right? But what he could have done to prevent that is gone around Nautilus and kill him, right? So again, in the same thing, like step 1, can Nautilus escape? Yes. If the answer is yes, like then step 2 is that can he escape? If it's yes, then you walk behind him. And then step 3, you go, right? Same thing in team fights. A lot about setup was what we talked about. And then, like throughout the late game, we talked about getting items and focusing on spikes, saving your flashes and ult for the big team fights, trying to set them up. And yeah, that is primarily the biggest focus we had, because I feel like he had a lot of kills in the games that he could have got, but he just didn't. And I obviously like to focus on the biggest things, which I find to be a problem, because you can go into detail about almost everything, but I want to focus on the things that I believe gives the most benefit. So anyway, here we are. 20 kills, 8 deaths, etc. And you couldn't win. Why? That's what we're going to find out today. If you could have done something, and yeah. So first thing you want to look at when you look at a game like this is look at the enemy champions, right? Because if he posted this game and they had a Vi jungle and his team was feeding, I'd be like, yeah. If the Vi decides to ult you and the enemy plays well, you cannot really carry that one, right? But they don't have a Vi. They don't have Mordekaiser, they don't have other champions. But what they do have is a Yasuo. And Yasuo can, in a lot of cases, deny you from being able to kill the enemy by windwalling. Right? But he's not like, he's a counter. It's definitely annoying. And he can prevent you from carrying a game. But I wouldn't put him as high as Spy. Because again, you can play around this. You can wait for it, etc. So even though I would definitely say that Yasuo's like a difficult champion, it's not impossible. And the rank is currently Emerald 1. And when we started the coaching, just for reference, he was, let's take a look. He was Emerald 3. So currently now after the coaching, he's reached Emerald, okay, he's Emerald 2 now. So he's climbed a bit at least. But I mean, everyone climbs like this, right? It's not It's not proof of anything, but he's definitely gained some LP since, and that's good. But yeah, what we're going to do again, same thing as we do with everyone, or every session, we just speed through the game. This will allow me to see the bigger picture. It will allow me to see where it really likes that going downhill for him, and then we can go back to those points and continue from there. So, again, this was about he failed to carry, so we are not really gonna focus on minor things in the early game here. The entire point is to look at the later stages of the game. That will of course include this. Because when you manage to get 20 kills, then you got to the position you were in, so it is still good, right? But of course, you could use your lead in certain ways to slow down the game or get some control, right? So, as an example, this dragon here could be an example of something to look at. But I don't consider one dragon to be a problem. So, I'll continue. I'm a bit sick still. I've been sick for the past 2 weeks now almost. Okay, 12 minutes. I'm gonna just write this down. 12 min. Okay, wait. I just realized something. There are some negatives, of course. You're just waking up, and that is not remembering everything I need to do. So we'll continue from here. It is also an ocean soul, which I wouldn't consider to be like a massive hindrance. It is of course maybe annoying or bad, but getting ocean soul I would say is much better than infernal or hextech or something like that. Okay. $23. That's right. Continuing. Okay. We'll connect that with the 23 minutes. I don't need to take this timestamp. So they lose the soul. Used flash. Do they get Baron here? Wait, so you go Baron. Hmm. Okay. Okay. So my immediate thought or problem with this it's still kind of like that structure. Because, especially in this situation here, 23 minutes. Right? You'll get into this point where you're like really far ahead and you'll start forcing plays or do things that you shouldn't be doing. So patience is very often the key. Let's just talk about this, right? Because I find this very important, and this is something I've made a reflection upon in the past. So, when you defend tier 2 turrets, it is very tempting to defend them because they give a lot of gold, right? But in the case of there being a lot of enemies there, I don't actually see it as a big of a problem. If there's only one person taking the turret, I consider that worse than if there's 3 or 4 or 5 people taking this turret. Because even though it gives a lot of gold, when it's spread across so many members, it's actually less impactful. Like, even though you can say, well, the entire team gets gold, I do consider that better than one guy getting a massive amount of gold, right? So that is just something to keep in mind here. So my point of this is I'm more willing to give this turret if their entire team is there than if it's only one person. And it's not just because it's easier to kill one person, but it's also because I see it as I'd prefer 5 people sharing the gold than one person getting the gold, right? So like I don't mind that as much. And at this point here, you are kind of just trying to find an angle, right? Sorry, 2650, 600, so it's 2050, and then it's another 600, so it's 1400 somewhere roughly we need for Hurricane, and yeah. It becomes hard sometimes to imagine, think of everything that I mentioned. And because one thing I did mention to someone is kind of like playing defense and how you should set up an ambush somewhere and just allow them to kind of like get into position, because once they get into position, they're going to be stacked and like more in place. Whereas when they are setting up the siege or like they're pushing the waves of waiting, they're more like spread across. So like as an example, Kane is here, Seraphine Yasuo's there, right? So the biggest problem that happens in these kind of situations is that you end up like tunnel visioning on certain things. So like you have your eyes on all these people here because you want to kill them, but then you are not seeing the Vayne, you're not seeing the Illaoi as an example, right? So in this situation here, just to take this one, is that they take this turret, right? And then you guys kill the 3 minions, and the next wave is not arrived yet, or it's coming now. But then you guys clear that one somehow, even though I would argue that you shouldn't be here. You manage to clear it, which buys you time to do something, right? And you're being sieged in 3 positions right now. So for me, I'd find it a lot easier to deal with the people that are spread, as opposed to where the biggest force is, right? So as an example, mid. You could easily break off here. Like after the wave clear, go mid, you could potentially kill Vayne there, right? Or you could go and help Illaoi here. We are so focused on this one side here, which is something that happens. And by no way, shape, or form am I saying that this is why you're losing, but this is just like a negative in the game, right? You need to kind of like zoom out sometimes. It's the same thing as using a stealth in Twitch, where you just zoom in so hard because you're like wanting to kill a certain person, and then suddenly their entire team is just upon you because you're not paying attention to everything anymore. It is still important to pay attention to the minimap. It is still important to look out for laners, blah blah blah, right? You can't just be tunneled on one thing. But it's common, happens to everyone. But this is definitely bad, right? And you get your Hurricane now. And you didn't even kill anyone. And that's my other point here. We talk about playing around spikes, right? So like, why are you dying before the spike? That is definitely a bad thing. So let's just see here again. You don't... Did you kill Kane? Wait. Yeah, you do kill him, which is what? Okay. Right. But, again, I wouldn't mind giving the turret or something just to get a better position, right? Because for you, it's not about killing one person. It's about killing most of them or winning the fight. Obviously, we both probably agree that you just got core here and you just had to do this because you were forced, right? But at the end of the day, I don't think you should have done any of this before you got your Hurricane. So I think you should have just relaxed, gone mid lane, even caught the wave, let this turret fall if anything, then get Hurricane and just focus a lot more on the spikes. So my biggest takeaway here first is focusing on your spikes more. Get Hurricane and then play the game. It doesn't matter if it's the right call or bad call in this situation. It is just the thing you should do. Because it's the best habit to have. And now you're in a position where you have Flash, you have Hurricane and everything else. So this is good. It is unfortunate that Diana died, but I think you made the right call here. Firstly, when I looked at this, I thought maybe you were too late, right? But you did well here. This is good. And you even get your last item. You killed the Illaoi. Wait. Oh, but I didn't dislike this result, did I? I do think the best call would have been to just tell your team off the Baron and then just wait to defend and then kill them there. But at the end result is obviously fine. It's just the decision you'll have to make. So everything is good here. This is even good. The only thing this game comes down to when the souls and things is like, was that a problem for you to like win or lose the game? It doesn't really seem like it, right? So it isn't the issue. Kill Kane here. Okay. Yeah. I mean, ignoring everything else, like the not like correct spikes, whatever, like everything, I do think this was the reason why I lost. Right? Because now you obviously killed one of the members. And this ult isn't that good. Like, they're not stacked in any means. Like, they're not... Like, Yasuo's win already, like... It's just too impatient. It's just a step 1 thing again, right? You killed one member, so you have the pressure right now. Just play slower now, wait for a better situation, and then go. Or even position yourself into a wall here, Vayne gets the tumble, your team's not even, like, properly walked up yet. Like, you have so much to play for here. Like, your Diana could go in, your Silas could go in, your Nami could even ulti before you go in, right? So, like, one way you can start this fight is, as an example, not be in stealth, right? You could just play with the team. And just auto-attack or, like, wait for someone to step up. Because they can't immediately combo you here. Seraphine's ult's on cooldown. So... You could just play with the team a little bit, push the wave in our stealth, and then when your team goes in or something, or like a bad situation comes, then you stealth. Right? But I think the problem here is that you did this play, and then you kill the Kayn, and in Twitch habit, you Q here. Right? And I talk a lot about this. You kill someone. The most instant reaction everyone has in this situation is they will just automatically press this Q without any thought. Right? So, what you want to do now is stabilize. You want to get control of the situation. They are down one member. Right? You want to stabilize now. You want everyone on the same page. You want them to group up. You want the wave to push, right? You want things to like... You want everything to like reorganize. You want the piece to fall down before you go, right? You want to assess every piece. So, I would have just instantly pressed B here, or W, or whatever you want to do, cancel this stealth, and wait for your next one. Because now you're kind of like forcing yourself to do something before this ends. Right? Because that's like the natural instinct of Twitch. Because once your stealth runs out, then you feel like, fuck, I'm fucked, right? So what you should have done is just cancel it instantly, or what you most should have done is not queued instantly after the Kayn. But it is hard to make that assessment when we can already see that there was about to break out a fight here. So I can understand like the instinct there of like feeling pressure. So that would like force you or make you feel like you need to stealth again, which is fine. But then when you look at your team now and you realize that they're walking back, you're like, okay, we're not in danger anymore. Let's relax, right? So press B here, cancel your Q. You're never going to find the best angle in this short amount of time that you have in your Q now. Because everything is still scattered. They're getting back, Vayne's there, Seraphine's there. So you just go too fast. Just cancel your B. Once you've assessed that your team is safe, cancel it. Wait to apply pressure with the wave. Right? They don't even have that much wave clear. So I think this is, I mean, you can argue that you can defend here too. And of course, against this team here, it is not an issue. But I would say that this one is probably a bigger problem because this is what led to that point, right? And everything else before that was kind of fine. So for me, this was the issue here. Just going in too fast, not assessing everything, just feeling this pressure, right? You need to get rid of that. Or you need to try and lessen it. Allow yourself to breathe in these kind of situations. Realize your team is safe, right? Let them play the game a bit. Especially into champions like Yasuo. Like imagine your wave pushes out, right? You allow them to do things. This wave will push. You guys will start pressuring them. Maybe attack the minions. Yasuo will use his wind wall. And then you're like... Got you. I fucking got you. Now you smile. Yasuo uses wind wall. You press your stealth. And then you wait for them to walk up. Because you know they do not have a wind wall. Right? So you just need to allow this to play out a bit. Of course, not always. Like, of course, there'll be a situation where, okay, they're all here. Yasuo's there. He can't win wall them and save them. You go. But, like, you need to let the game develop a little bit here. You're feeling pressure for no reason here. And it is common when you're, like, in these 1v9 situations. It is much easier to make mistakes. Because of this pressure that you feel. But it is important to just, after you kill someone, especially in the late game, try and assess the situation. If your team's not fighting and everything's fine, just relax, breathe, take your time. There's nothing's happening unless you make it happen, right? You forced this. You're the one that made this go badly because you forced this. Because you pressed your Q after killing the Kayn and then you feel pressure to do something for the Q duration because it has such a long cooldown, right? And that time is ticking down. You can feel itself is ending. Like, fuck, I have to do something, I have to do something, I have to do something. Right? You weren't even at the stage yet. Right? But you were getting there. And I think we both know that no matter if you opened here or not, you would have definitely opened before that stealth ended. And that is common. But in these situations here, you need to make a stop. Right? Even here, you can be creative and be like, Nami, ult them. What do you think Yas is going to do if Nami just throws a random ult at them? Do you think he's going to just let it hit everyone, or do you think he'll win wall it? Right? Like, of course, the Nami ult's nice to have, but what you need is win wall to be gone. Right? So, like, you just need something to happen. You didn't let your team play. Like, you forced a situation where you are basically 1v4 for no reason at all. Like, you just need to relax a bit. You need that structure. The more 1v9 you are, the harder it is. Because you just feel more pressure, right? You need to do something. Or else your team's going to just fuck up and ruin everything. But even in these situations here, even if they are useless, they are having some purpose, right? They do something. So let them do that. We can take a look at this last fight here. You have flash, like everything here is good again. Stealth runs out, and then you feel pressured. Look how terrible this is. They aren't even stacked yet. You're just panicking. You're feeling forced. Like, there's no reason to go in here. Let's have a look. Alright. Okay. Let's enable the timers. Let's reduce the map vision. Game interface. Map. Dragon hasn't even spawned yet. Like, you can let the dragon spawn and wait 5 seconds and it's still not going to be dead. You have plenty of time here to let them get into position. You're just rushing things for no reason at all. Just relax a bit. Allow them to stack up. Allow your team to go. Like, there's no reason to go now. Yorick is even pushing top lane, right? You can say that sucks. But if you guys manage to defend this, he's going to end the game. And they are not going to kill the dragon right now. There was no reason to open there. I know you feel pressured because your Q was probably ending or something. Let's take a look, right? Or like you walked in, you got vision by Laoya. I know that part. But yeah, you stealth here. It's about to run out. And then you're like, fuck, I got core, whatever, I have to go. Which is fine. If you're getting attacked in like it's last resort, you have to do damage. I support that. I support your reaction to what happened, but I don't support your idea here. You need to let them just gain the position. If you have a massive nuke, right? You have a massive nuke. When do you use this nuke? When they're all grouped together or when they're spread across 4 continents? Right? You have to let them get on the same continent before you press the nuke. Right? You just have to. And you're not doing that. Not here, not here. Both in 2 crucial points in the game. You're just not allowing things to happen or like laying. You're just blowing the nuke for no reason at all. And then you lose because of it. Right? They didn't even start the dragon. Like, they can be in this dragon. I mean, it's going to die fast, but you have a short while to go. Right? And eventually, they're going to feel pressure from the Yorick pushing. So, like, you just need to relax. You have time. So I guess my point here is you need to just focus on this time. Just know that you have time, okay? It doesn't have to happen now. It can happen in 5 seconds. You have some time, okay? Not everything has to happen instantly. You have time. In this case here, you had plenty of time. You had 44 seconds and maybe a bit more, right? You have time. Here, same thing again. Dragon hadn't even spawned yet. You have 5, 6, 7 more seconds. And even then, the second you guys come, you can extend the period of time, right? It doesn't have to happen immediately. You have time, okay? That is extremely important to realize, especially again when you're in that 1v9 situation and you feel even more pressure. So yeah, I'm gonna end it here. I think this is a good conclusion. No need to focus on any of this. I just want to focus on this end part, and I think we've managed to narrow it down quite well. Because again, the dragons and everything wasn't an issue here. The game was perfectly fine, but you just were really impatient, and that is what ended up losing the game. Alright. Hope you guys continue to have a good morning, night, like that. And yeah, take care. Peace.